Welcome back to Homeschool Life. I'm Paula, and one of the things that I love about homeschooling is the community. So that's what we're here for, is to provide a place for you to have conversations where you can learn and grow and share and be encouraged. So we're going to talk about everything from curriculum and how-tos to tips and tricks to day-to-day lifestyle and more. So take a second and subscribe and click on the notification bell so that you can stay up to date on all of our new content. Today, we're going to talk about unit studies, the unit studies teaching style. All right? It is fun, let me tell you. It is interesting and it is flexible. Okay? This is how you capture your child's attention and help them to understand how pieces of the world fit together. All right, you're going to be able to go deep into a subject, a time period, or a theme of some sort, and you're going to be able to fit it all together. And your kids will love to learn. All right, there are two different kinds of unit studies, and so we're going to talk about both of those. One is called comprehensive, and the other one is a limited or a subject unit study. All right, comprehensive is where they're going to learn most all of their subjects. You will supplement maybe with one or two, but they're going to learn them all through this one topic or this theme. All right, for example, it might be chronological history, or it might be literature-based. So, for example, let's say a children's literature-based one, you're going to read the same story 5 days in a row, okay? And so on Monday, you're going to read that story, and then you're going to teach them a language arts lesson out of that same story. On Tuesday, you'll read that story and maybe teach history. And on Wednesday, it might be science and geography. On Thursday, it might be cooking, art, music. And on Friday, it might be math or character studies or social studies. Okay, and some examples of curriculum that are comprehensive unit studies would be 5 in a Row, Tapestry of Grace, Trisms, and Trail Guide to Learning. All right, now we'll talk about the limited unit study. And so this is when you're just going to focus on one topic. All right, so let's say if you do a good in-depth study of state history, your child is learning about the state they live in, or perhaps where relatives or friends live. So that is a type of unit study. Amanda Bennett also has some great topical unit studies. So it's a wide variety, anything from horses to photography to cooking to a country or a nation to holidays. I mean, there's just a wide variety out there. Memora Press and Progeny Press both have great literature unit studies, and YWAM does great unit studies on people. Now, unit studies can be ready-made, or you can develop your own. Unit studies incorporate a variety of experiences for your child. So there's going to be engaging all of their senses and hands-on activities and lots of reading great literature. And there will be oral and written presentations as well. Unit studies can be used alone, as in a comprehensive one, or they can be added into whatever teaching style that you are using, to another teaching style. They are fun, they are interesting, they are engaging, and it gives a rich education to your children. Now, I want to give you a special note here. There are a curriculum out there called all-in-one programs. Now, these look a lot like unit studies, but they don't have a unifying theme. So they have great lesson plans, great materials, and they're really good curriculum. But just don't get confused, because those all-in-one programs are not really a unit study. Some examples of these would be Heart of Dakota, My Father's World, Sunlight, and Memora Press's Simply Classical. So let me show you, I've pulled together some unit studies, and let me give you some examples here. To start with, let's talk about the limited, and I'll give you a couple of examples here. So I really like these unit studies that are just based off of literature, and Progeny Press and Memora Press do an excellent job of putting these together for you. So all you have to do is literally pick out the age-appropriate, grade-appropriate book and study guide and give them to your child and go. So I've just grabbed The Bears of Hemlock Mountain and Charlotte's Web. And we've got Treasure Island and To Kill a Mockingbird. So they're for all ages and all grades. And then you might want to pick up something like Rush Revere. They have a whole entire unit study that is free online that goes with this as well. And there's a series of these books as well. Now we're going to talk about the comprehensive. And so I pulled together 2 different comprehensive unit studies. So see if you can figure out the theme of this first one. And it kind of branches off into a second theme. So to start with, I've got 50 States Under God for young learners. And so the nice thing about unit studies is you can use it for all of your children, all grades at the same time. So everybody is studying the same topic and they are learning at their particular level. So then here we have 50 States Under God for your older children. And you might want to pick up something like this States and Capital Wipe Clean Workbook. And you might want to grab something like this Draw Right Now. This is the United States from sea to sea and moving forwards. And so they're going to learn some art while they're learning about the United States of America. You could also grab, here is Geography of the United States card game. And then I've got some States and Capitals flashcards. Remember, we're going to try to engage all their senses, right? Now you could branch off, and here is state histories. So I grabbed this Oklahoma State History. I have a Kansas My State History Fun Book. And of course you would pick one state and just pick all of it for the one state, all the curriculum. Texas History in Light of the Cross. Next, we're going to just dive into, say, one state, Texas. So grab some children's picture books. Picture books are great when you're doing unit studies because think about it. A picture book is going to give you the narrowed down in a nutshell essential information about that state. And then here is a big Texas reproducible activity book. And how about some primary sources for Texas? And then here is a Texas history bingo game. Now, maybe you've got a child that you want to do some language arts with that is United States based, so you might want to grab our mother tongue and teach them about our language and where it came from. Maybe study some people from the United States. So here's Harriet Tubman from YWAM and Abraham Lincoln. You might grab some more textbook-based history books, again, age appropriate, and maybe take your child all the way through. So you might want to start with Stories of the Pilgrims and then move on to history stories for children. This is from Christian Liberty Press. Then you would move up a grade level to Exploring American History and continue on to Foundation for Freedom. So again, and if you have multiple children and they're multiple different grades and ages, they can all be studying these different books at the same time while you're all studying United States history together. So you've got some older children, get them the Bill of Rights and let them read it for themselves firsthand. The Gettysburg Address. How about Our Constitution Rocks? And good old Constitutional Literacy, the workbook, as well as the DVD set. Again, we're engaging lots of different senses here. How about a Declaration of Independence wall hanging document replication? Smaller children, here we have a Presidents of the United States board book, but again, this is a great picture book for even your older children. It's got all those facts in there. Let's see, what else do I have here? Presidential elections and other cool facts. Then these books are amazing. The Who, What, Where, When series. Here is Where is the White House? And Who was Benjamin Franklin? And What is the Statue of Liberty? Here's a puzzle book, U.S. History Puzzles. And here's some more primary source patriotic documents this time. And then here's a nice big picture book, Charlie and Trike and the Grand Canyon Adventure. So as you can see, you can go deep or you can go to the sides. And then lastly, for this unit study, I grabbed this American Trivia board game, family board game. So you get everybody involved. Now, nice thing about all of this, it fit in this nice crate. So you've got your organization, you just put it all in here, and here is your unit study. All of that fit in this one crate. Now, let's check out a different unit study that I pulled together. For this one, I selected the elementary zoology from Master Books. And so this would be the teacher guide that helps you to explain things and get certain things from your children as they're learning. And then these books go with it. So you might want to grab something like How Many Animals Were on the Ark? And then guess what? You're going to go on a complete aquarium adventure. So it's field trip time. Again, engaging all those senses, right? Here is the complete zoo adventure. And again, that was for a field trip. And then here is God's big book of animals. Lots of nice pictures in here and great information. You might want to grab Guide to God's Animals. And what are you going to do on these field trips? You're going to take a sketchbook. You're going to have each of the children have a sketchbook. It could be a small one, it could be a big one, and you're going to have them study an animal, and they're going to draw it, and they're going to learn because they're going to really focus, and they're going to study it. So we would go to the zoo, and I'd let my children each pick an animal, and we would go and we would sit for an hour and just watch that animal. So you're going to get to see a lot versus just cruising through. So you want to make sure that you have some kind of crayons, colored pencils, regular pencils. Then here we have a paint by sticker zoo animals. Here is an activity book, Discover the Zoo. Here's a pixel coloring animals book, a scratch and scribble, painting by numbers. And lastly, I have this little fish. Can you see him? Each of the kids get that, and they get some colored sand, and they make their own, and then they can always remember this unit study. And then last but not least, how about some puzzles for the whole family to do together? We've got some googly eye for the younger kids, and then we've got 1,000 piece. This is funny animals. So these are some different ways that you can pull together unit studies. They're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun to pull together, and they're a lot of fun to do. And because you're engaging all these different senses and even pull in some cooking, like with the United States history, you can pull in and like cook one day like the pioneers did, or cook like somebody in a certain region of the United States. And let the kids taste that food. Let them go shopping with you to have to select the food, or go to an ethnic marketplace. Now, what about some resources for you? The Everything Guide to Homeschooling is a great resource for you. It has a lot of information in it and a lot of different ways to homeschool your kids, especially doing unit studies. And if you don't know, you might want what your child needs to know when. So this tells at each grade level just the basics, the essentials of what they're supposed to learn and know at those different ages and those different times. Now, how about online resources for you? I would suggest theoldschoolhouse.com, as well as kathyduffyreviews.com and unitstudy.com. Check those out and see what kind of information they have for you as well. So there are different homeschool teaching styles. There's everything from traditional to classical to Charlotte Mason to unit studies to unschooling, and they're all good. You're going to choose based on how you were taught, your lifestyle, and mostly your goals for your children. Your teaching method can change as your homeschool journey continues, and it can even be a mix, and that's okay. Or you can settle on one and just do it the whole way and be consistent, and that's okay too. So do your research, talk to others, ask questions, and give it a try for a year and see if maybe unit studies fits you and your family best. So what kind of questions do you have? Or advice or tips if you've already been using unit studies or you have in the past. Please leave a comment. I hope this was helpful for you. As always, check out mardel.com and our blog articles for more homeschool information. Also, we have videos on YouTube and Facebook. And you can order curriculum and you can pick up things online and in our stores. Thank you for watching. Have a great day and enjoy your homeschool life.